I feel like I'm being mean when I set a boundary, which is so wild.
Yeah.
Right? As I then learned, setting that boundary was for myself.
Yeah.
It's a sign of respect for myself and my time.
Yeah. I guess it's one of those things for me where I think I've always had pretty solid boundaries in place.
Hello and welcome to Adulthood is a Project, the show where two sisters discuss lessons learned and growth earned through the realities of life. I'm Charlie, and this is my sister Casey, and we're your hosts.
In today's episode, we're going to discuss boundaries. We will also discuss the ins and outs of why it's a positive thing to set them and how to do it with confidence. Let's get started.
Woo! All right. Boundaries.
She just crossed one. I'm not gonna lie.
I did.
She ate the last cookie.
After
telling me that my fat ass had to stop at one. So
I forgot we were supposed to give it to someone else.
Yeah. It's okay. She got two. I got one.
Get a little snacky after dinner. I'm the one that brought them home in the first place, so if it weren't for me, we wouldn't have had them.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sticking with that.
Let you have that. All right. I'm in charge of the quiz.
Yes.
Okay, this one's a little different only because I felt like boundaries is so personal to each person. So
yeah. So
I'm gonna almost start this quiz off by saying there's not necessarily a right or wrong answer.
Oh.
Well,
so I could kind of
on some of them, I'd be like, no, incorrect. It's the wrong boundary, Charlie. Wrong boundary.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
And I did it where your answers are going to be based on traffic signs.
God bless. Okay.
Because traffic is a place where sometimes we're crossing boundaries.
Yeah. Man, how do you come up with these? Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right. I'm excited.
Here we go. Ready?
Oh.
If your sister eats the last cookie. No, not really.
Food boundary.
If a friend keeps borrowing your stuff without asking, is this a boundary where you should stop immediately, yield politely, or go with the flow?
Yield politely.
Yield politely.
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like that's a good, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a little.
I'm gonna get like all crazy with it, but
be tight, be polite, and remind them that that's not okay.
Yeah, that's my stuff.
Yeah. I feel like it gets a little crazy if you're just like, no.
Yeah, you go to the extreme before.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. But it definitely is something that needs to be stopped. I wouldn't ever go with the flow. So you kind of could have got that one wrong if you would have gone with the flow.
Yeah, then you're just laying down.
Yeah. Okay. Someone wants to vent about their day, but you're exhausted. Do you yield and listen, stop and set a limit, or go and let them vent it out?
Stop and set a limit.
Ding, 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 ding. That's where I would have got to.
Okay.
Yeah. You gotta stop and just be like, listen, I'm tired.
Like, I only have so much mental space for this right now.
Yeah. All right. Your coworker sends you emails at midnight. Is this a case for setting a speed limit on communication, a stop sign for late night work, or yield to occasional exceptions?
I think that's hard because it depends if the email is just like, hey, this is just when I'm working. I don't expect you to read it or deal with it until you read it later. So maybe speed limit?
Yeah.
Where you acknowledge, like, hey, you're emailing me late. Like, I hope you don't expect me to respond to those.
Right. I would say the same thing.
Okay.
Because I definitely, that's one of those things where I'm like, is that really a boundary you need to set with your coworker, or one you need to set with yourself?
Probably more yourself.
More yourself. Yeah.
Of don't get how many times, coworker, have you sent me a text at 2 a.m.? Hey, remind me of this later.
Yeah.
I just have the boundary of my phone is on silent, so
Right.
I just remember it the next morning when I actually see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I agree.
say speed limit, but you're right. I think a boundary with yourself on that one.
Yeah, that's a speed limit for sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. You planned a quiet night in, but a friend insists that you come out. Do you take a detour and go? Do you stop and stick to your plan, or do you yield with a compromise?
Yeah, I think that would truly depend on why they're trying to go out.
Yeah, I'm a total stop sign on that one. I'm like, no.
I would maybe detour.
You would.
Yeah, most likely. Especially like they had said, I've had a really bad day and I could use the company. I would think to myself, well, man, I really wanted to stay in tonight, but I get it. I've been there myself. Could really use a friend. I'll detour and go.
What if they just want to go out drinking for funsies?
Then that would truly depend on my mood. Yeah, I would maybe detour. Because it might be easy if I can know, oh, you know what, tomorrow I can still sit down and do nothing.
Yeah.
So I can go out tonight and mix it up.
I'm such a stop sign on that. I'm like, ew, why are you even talking to me right now?
Like, I didn't even know I had any friends. So why are you asking me to go out with you right now?
I don't have friends. This is weird. All right. An ex wants to rekindle things. Is this a firm no U-turns, a cautious yield, or a full go into that relationship?
Ooh. Would depend on the ex.
That's a no.
Generally, I'm gonna I was gonna go with a stop, pull out the brakes and listen. No U-turns.
That's a no U-turn. Yeah.
I said depends because it could be someone at the time it just didn't work because you were both in different places. Nothing bad was ever done. There was no like bad feelings when you broke up. It's just, hey, I'm growing this way, you're growing that way. We drifted and maybe someone changed. Or things changed. I don't know.
Maybe. I think they're your ex for a reason.
And some people feel that way. That was a good lead up.
Yeah.
I was mentally, as I usually do, trying to think, what would she do for a quiz this week? And I can never guess you on these.
Yeah. I thought about being really wild and like discussing political boundaries and stuff.
Oh, Lord.
What's Jerry meandering?
I would have done horrible at that.
She would have.
That'd be just trying to get me to fail.
I chose not to do that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
But I did think like this one was so hard because with boundaries, like I said, it depends so much on the person. Like you're more of an outgoing person and you're more social.
True.
So like that one about going out. Yeah, I could see you wanting to take a detour. Me, that's a solid no.
Right. And it's funny because as this quiz was going, some of the questions I thought, well, old me would have done this. And then I said, no, think about all the boundaries you've put up over the past 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
What do you do now?
Right.
Which is the right answer. But it was so ingrained in me for so long before I started setting boundaries that even a simple quiz, I had to stop and, I don't want to say like think the right answer, but think and be like, what would be the normal thing to do here? As opposed to just like the borrowing the clothes.
Yeah.
Or borrowing your things. Just go with it. I don't want the conflict.
Yeah.
I totally would have done that. Now I was like, oh no, I would yield and be like, hey man, next time you want to borrow that, could you ask?
Right.
And I can let you know if I want it or not want it right now.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So that was funny. And it took me, part of the reason we talked about doing this episode was simply over the years when I started setting boundaries, I realized how weird it felt.
Right.
And I had another friend of mine say the same thing of, I feel like I'm being mean. Because she had spent a lot of her life people pleasing.
Sure.
And I said, girl, I totally get it. I do too. I feel like I'm being mean when I set a boundary, which is so wild.
Yeah.
Right? Like, as I then learned, setting that boundary was for myself.
Yeah.
It's a sign of respect for myself and my time and my mental capacity or any of those things.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's one of those things for me where I think I've always had pretty solid boundaries in place.
I feel like you have to.
And it's not something I've ever consciously had to think about doing. It's just a natural, I don't know, I just do it.
I wonder if it's anything to do with our birth order.
Maybe.
Me being in the middle, I am such a people pleaser.
I am not.
I just wanted everyone to be. I know. Because you're the baby and everything worked in your favor.
Oh, please.
Right, because I had to give in a lot. I don't know. I will say, because we've talked about it before, and mine was a lot of just people pleasing through most of my life.
Yeah.
Thinking I had to make everyone happy because I wanted to avoid confrontation. Because confrontation was a bad thing to me. And then starting to set those boundaries, realizing it's not a confrontation. It's just telling someone how you might prefer to be communicated with, or...
Well, I've always been a firm, just, you teach people how to treat you.
True.
So if you want them to treat you a certain way, I guess, go ahead and teach them to do that.
Right, like set your boundary ahead of time.
Yeah.
Instead of being a people pleaser.
Yeah.
I always wanted people to like me.
I never gave a shit.
I always thought, I have to be nice or they're not going to like me. And, oh no, now I could care less if you like me at this point. I mean, I like it when people like me.
Yeah.
I'm not living my life to give a shit if anyone likes me anymore, though.
Right.
It's there. I'll try for a minute. If you don't like me, I'm not going to bend over backwards for it. I'm going to be who I am. I'm not going to do the people pleasing.
Yes. But yeah, I can see how, I guess it could come across as negative and confrontational at first. If you're not, if it's not something you're used to doing.
Or if someone sets that boundary with you, you almost feel like you're being rejected.
Oh, yeah.
When they're saying, I don't like it when you take my things without asking.
Right.
And if you're not used to having a boundary set with you or something, you could think in your head of, they don't ever want me to take their stuff ever. When truthfully, they're just saying, just ask next time.
Right.
You hear it a different way, though, and it sets you up to think you're being rejected. Of, they don't want to share their stuff with me ever.
Yeah, I could see that as well.
Some people can, obvious instance, like you can breeze through setting a boundary. And for me, it is something I have to really think through.
Right. Well, you know what, though, I will say, there are some people that are harder to set a boundary with.
Oh, fair.
There are some people in my life that boundaries can get a little blurry, maybe.
Okay.
I'm not saying I would say maybe in the past.
Okay.
Where I would be like, ugh, it's easier to not fight with this individual.
Oh, yeah.
Just let it go. And yeah, I mean, eventually I get over that. And just be like, fuck it, I don't care. Fight, don't fight, I don't care.
Some of that, though, does lead into the family dynamics of things.
Yeah.
Right? A family dynamic and setting a boundary is going to be a lot different than setting a boundary with a friend.
Right.
That you either
That's why I don't
just
have
met.
any friends.
Exactly. You might be onto something.
Yes.
It could be why you don't have any. As we were saying, you're more assertive, I'm more of a people pleaser, which again for me had started changing over the years. Setting the boundary started to be a thing I had to do for myself.
Yeah. I think it's always just been so natural for me.
Right.
Where it's just, I don't even think about it before I do it.
I can't say this is the exact case, but prior to setting the boundaries and thinking about how that looked, I didn't even think about what a boundary was with myself.
Okay.
And as I started learning about them and understanding them a little bit more, then giving myself permission to set them.
Yeah.
Because good Lord, that took me working through some stuff too. It had me realizing that there were times that setting that boundary would have saved me so much of a hassle. Of, I'd have a friend who was constantly bitch, 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 bitch. Once I started learning how to set a boundary, it was kind of, hey, I don't have a space for that right now. Can I call you back when I do? Or we'll meet up for coffee in a few days. At this exact moment, I'm up to here with my own shit. I don't have any space. I started trying to ask permission before venting. To say, do you have the mental capacity? Like, I know I need to unload right now. Do you have the mental capacity to listen to me?
Oh, right.
Because sometimes giving someone that option, and again, because that is a boundary that was hard for me to set.
And it's so easy for me to tune people out. Vent away, man. I'll probably just sit over here and be like, I won't even have a fucking clue what you're saying.
Good to know.
Not to you.
Okay. Why don't I believe you right now? I have a lot of friends who I can talk to and vent with in different circumstances and different reasons for different people to talk to for different things.
Yes.
So the ones that I would have those more serious, I would say, do you have the space for this right now, or do you mind?
Right.
If I do. But that was just part of me, again, realizing that was a boundary I would have liked for myself.
And so you're trying to give other people opportunity to have the boundary as well.
Right. And then as you were saying, you show people how you want to be treated. They started saying, hey, I like that you're doing that. Or I would tell them I was doing that. They're like, oh, is that something you want to try? I'm like, if you don't mind, I would like that.
Yeah.
And no problem. They were for it too. It turned into, hey, do you have the space for this right now? I do, man. Let's go. So that was interesting of showing how I would like to be treated. Because again, I was hitting some mental limits with a lot of stuff, especially at the time that I started to set the boundaries.
Okay. And I think to me, it's always kind of an interesting concept whenever you'll say, do you have the mental space for this? Or I just think to myself, I'm one of those people where if I don't have the mental space for it, I would have already fucking told you. Like, if you start venting to me, I would immediately be like, yo, I can't today.
That's why you don't have friends.
Probably. But what's wrong with that? I would prefer for people to be honest with me if I start venting and they don't have the ability to do it. I'm like, just say it, man. Just say, I don't have it. I can't today.
Right. There's nothing wrong with it. To me, it's nicer to say, hey, I actually don't have them. Like,
it is nicer.
Which is what led me to saying, hey, do you mind? Or do you have the time?
Yeah.
And then those people would do the same.
Being nicer about it.
If I start venting and in the middle of it, you're like, dude, no. It's going to stop me from wanting to vent to you again.
Yeah, that's usually my plan. I don't know.
If someone did that to me, I'd be like, I'm about done sharing with this person.
What if that's their goal, though?
Maybe it is.
Oh.
It could be. It very well could be.
You're such a much nicer person than I am.
I know. I'm fully aware of that.
You try to be more aware of other people's feelings.
Well, some of that's the people pleaser in me. Which can be a good and bad thing because it made it a lot harder for me to set boundaries.
Yeah.
And, as we talked about them, there's nothing wrong with them. They're good for you. They're good for other people. They can save time. They can save energy. It's funny that we feel so mean in doing them.
Right.
Instead of just saying,
you're sitting here telling me I am mean for having them.
And you're mean in the way you might put them to other people.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I mean.
But I think
you're not mean for having a boundary.
I think if you know me, you know where I'm at with that. Like,
I would say, yeah, most people, yeah.
I'll have that discussion with you tomorrow or even an hour from now, but I need a break for a minute.
Right. There's that boundary of, it's not my job to do that for you.
Yeah.
Whether it be, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something specific and I can't right now. The friend that says, can you go out?
Oh, yeah.
Old me would have just been like, yeah, okay, I'll detour. When in reality, I'm really just want to go home right now. I've had a long week. I'm tired. I'm done. I want to go home. So in starting to set boundaries, it changed to, what do you need to go out to vent, or have you had a bad day? Or you're just trying to go have drinks. And they're like, oh, I'm just trying to have drinks. Then I can be, hey, you know what? I am honestly just done tonight. Rain check for tomorrow if you're still up for it.
Right.
And I can make that decision then. And in that case, then I don't feel that need to, oh, they want to go out. And I know last time I asked them to go out, they went with me. So now I got to go with them. And it turns into you're doing it almost out of guilt or to make them happy or like you.
Oh, okay.
You almost feel kind of responsible for keeping them in a good mood. And in setting those boundaries, like I said, with that respect for yourself or for that other person. And we talked about this in, gosh dang it, I can't think of what episode it was. And I had made the comment of it started changing of when I did go out with people.
Mm-hmm.
That I was way more present, had a way better time, better connection.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'd put that boundary up already.
Yeah.
Maybe the day before I didn't go. So then the day I did go, I was a lot more free, more open.
More ready to participate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like that can just save you just energy.
Yeah.
I mean, I know when I'm exhausted and I'm done, going out is not going to help me at all.
Right.
So the energy that would be exerted.
Right. You hit a burnout level.
Yeah.
Because say you
Exactly.
said yes to one friend tonight. Guess what happened tomorrow night when you're like, okay, that's my night to stay in because I went ahead and said yes tonight. Tomorrow night, a whole different friend calls.
Yeah.
Need you for something.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be right there. By the end of the week, you're spent. You're beyond spent at that point because you were already spent from your own personal week, let alone trying to do stuff for other people.
That's not yours to do.
Right, and not setting that boundary.
Yes.
So that's a really good point there, too, of the energy.
Yeah.
That could kick off of that of, I gotta go do this for this person, or being, I've done this, like being resentful.
Oh, okay.
When you feel like you're constantly doing something for somebody instead of acknowledging the fact that that's your fault because you never set the boundary for yourself.
Yes. And I would say there's somebody who, I would say very recently, I didn't set boundaries very well with at first. And then when I did start setting the boundaries, because I was more than done.
Okay.
That person started like guilt tripping a lot.
Oh.
Now I could see some people giving two shits. I'm not that person.
Oh, like letting the guilt trip affect them?
Yeah. I was like, oh, you don't even understand. Like guilt tripping, that turns me off even more. Now boundaries real up.
Oh, heck yeah.
And that was just a case of I was in a situation where they were my connection to another person.
Okay.
So, and that other person I do like a lot and want to see. Trying not to get too specific here.
Gotcha. No, that's fine. But you had to you still had to set the boundary and then ignore the guilt tripping from it.
Yeah.
And I think people guilt trip because they're so used to you being a certain way.
Oh, they are.
And when you change that,
right,
that can scare them.
Yeah.
Because now you're not the same person you'd been.
Right.
But if they can do the guilt tripping, then they can almost try to manipulate you back into exactly what you'd been doing in the past.
Yes.
Okay. So. Yeah. So that makes it hard to set a boundary.
The guilt tripping?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, not for me. I don't know. Start a guilt trip with me and you'll find out real quick how much I don't give two shits.
Guilt tripping used to work on me.
I do know.
Before I started being more confident in setting the boundaries.
Yes.
The guilt tripping would work on me.
Yeah.
And as I gained more confidence, the more boundaries I set. And then they didn't have to be major. Mm-hmm. Again, it'd be something so small as, hey, do you have the mental space to have this discussion today? Or for me to vent? Or what's your reason for me going out? Oh, you just want to party? I am honestly tired. I'm going to bed. Those small boundaries.
Yes.
But they were forms of respect for myself. And as I kept doing that, what you said from the very get-go of teach people how to treat you.
Yes.
It was saying every time you didn't set a boundary, it told people you didn't respect yourself, which led to them not respecting you.
Yes.
So then you start setting those boundaries in a sign of respect for your own self. And the people you are setting those boundaries with start having a little more respect for you as well, honestly.
I would assume so.
Right. I've never asked any of them. I'm like, I guess I've never asked them. But in continuing the friendships, even after setting boundaries, you could feel a shift, but it wasn't a bad shift.
Yeah.
So I mentally guess maybe, I don't want to say I assumed, but you just kind of feel that difference when they realize, oh, she really does have a boundary and she's sticking to it. Then they respect it too.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think it creates better relationships.
Yeah.
Because you're not lying, you're not being yourself, right? You're not doing that. Oh, I'm doing this out of a guilt trip, and now I resent you for doing it, and now our friendship is this, or the relationship might be shitty because you gave in because the guilt trip, and now you're annoyed with them, and like there's so many levels of that.
There are, yes. So I think, yeah, those firm boundaries, I think it'll show you who people are, right? Because either they're going to actually be your friend, actually care about you and who you are as a person, and you're going to respect them and be decent human beings, or they're going to be, I don't know, giant pieces of shit.
True.
That just can't handle boundaries being set with them.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And then they'll be like, oh, you can't see your grandkids anymore. And you'll be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to guilt trip you so bad. And you have to think about, as you said, when you're doing that is you also have to do respect when other people are setting boundaries.
Right. Because that's if you care about that person.
Yes.
And you want to see them be the best that they can be, which don't we all want we want everybody around us to succeed.
Yeah.
And become, just love themselves and respect themselves and be better people,
yeah.
Right?
And as you said, know where your lines are.
Yeah.
That was this is a line I'm not going to cross.
Right.
I expect you to respect that. And then in return, if you give me a line you don't want to cross, I'm going to attempt to respect that as well.
Yeah.
Not from a guilt tripping or a shitty standpoint, though.
No.
From you really respected my boundary, and I appreciate that because it helps me be more of myself.
Right.
Now, when you set a boundary with me or tell me you have one, instead of hearing it as
a rejection.
Right. Next time you borrow my shirt, can you just ask?
Right.
Instead of me, I guess I can't ever borrow any of your stuff. I won't touch anything anymore. It's more like, oh, you know what? Duh. Why wouldn't have I asked? That was silly to just assume.
Yeah.
Because I live with you that I can take all your shit.
Silly to assume I can eat all the cookies.
That was silly. I don't know why you're guilt tripping me about it. Oh man, but it does. Yeah, you end up with that mutual respect, right? So if you respected my boundary, and then you tit for tat turn around and have a different boundary of your own that has nothing to do with the original one, it's something different for your own self. I respect that. You're building things on even more, mutual ground,
right? As
you go,
and you're building just a healthier relationship in general.
Yeah,
because you have communication.
Right.
What?
Okay, because as we were talking about it, and I said in the past, if someone gave me a boundary, I automatically thought, oh, they don't like me or they're rejecting me. Did you ever feel like that?
I'm trying to think of anybody giving me a boundary.
Oh my God.
Sure, somebody's given me a boundary before.
Don't call me after midnight. Not me. I would have never said that to you.
You never would have.
No. Maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something.
Yeah, I guess. Don't call me after midnight. I'd be like, cool, man. Like, I'll call you when I want to talk, and if it's after midnight, I guess I'm not talking to you.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just trying to think of something that maybe would have... Because I think there's sometimes boundaries that you don't think of as boundaries.
I don't think of it as Yes.
Yeah.
You know what's so funny to me is I think about how clear and firm I am with my boundaries and how much you feel like they're rejection, but yet we're best friends.
True.
Have I ever given you a boundary that made you feel rejected?
Oh, God bless. I'm sure. I don't even know if I noticed you were giving me the boundary.
Yeah. I don't know that I'm sure I've given you a boundary. I don't know what it would be.
I'm sure. And I think because we grew up together, our relationship is so different than that. It's not for 2 years. I keep telling you this and you don't listen.
You don't listen to
like
me.
For 40 years, I've been telling you this and you still don't listen and you're my sister, so I'm just used to it. I don't know. I'm sure there's probably been some boundary you've given me that I felt rejection.
Maybe.
Just based on my personality and who I am.
Yeah.
I have to assume. And then I'd probably called you the next day or something and was
crying like a baby.
Shit like that you say. And I probably called you the next day crying like a baby. Not the point of the story. I was like, I just don't understand. You're like, oh, I was just saying for that day, like, I didn't have the patience for that, and I was asking you not to talk. And I'm like, oh, because I really thought you didn't want to listen to me, and that would have really changed our friendship. It's probably something like that.
I could see that.
Of you being, I don't have time right now, and what do you mean you don't have time right now? As I'm on the phone.
I feel like I don't have a lot of boundaries with you anyways.
I think that's probably true.
Yeah.
I think, and again, because our relationship is so different.
It is so
with
different.
Growing up together, I think that changes that. And then as I said, when I started setting them, I felt so bad and found over the time that people respected them. It was what it was. And I respect theirs too. Or I try to.
Yeah.
And if I don't, I'd like that conversation opened up.
Yeah.
Of someone saying, I thought I gave you this boundary. Don't call me after midnight, whatever it was. And yet, 12:05, here you are calling again.
Right.
But to be like, well, I've given you a boundary you didn't respect. I would say, tell me, right? Because be really nice telling me, because I'm probably going to cry about it for a little bit, but then I'll realize, dang it, you were right.
You know what? I feel like, okay, and again, I know that somebody's set a boundary with me. I just can't think of anything like right off the top of my head.
Fair.
I don't know that I've ever felt rejection from it. I think I've probably felt maybe defensive about it.
Oh, yeah?
And it puts me in a mode where I'm more like, I'm going to test this motherfucking boundary. That's
you
me.
Would.
I do. I'm like, how far can we go with this? I'm not a good person sometimes.
You're a great person. You're just really used to getting your way. You're not used to being told what to do. That's probably what that comes down to.
Maybe.
Yeah. That's all it is.
Yeah.
You're just not used to having to be told what to do, and you can do what you want to do. And it tends to work out, so.
It does.
Yeah. And that's okay. We're all different in life. I would say our lesson learned, though, and growth earned, right, is setting boundaries and honoring ones that other people do set is just a form of respect, not only for yourself, but for them as well. It can protect your energy. It can help make relationships healthier. And it just really does keep you aligned with who you are. So if you want that night in, stay in tune to that and know that you want the night in and respect that boundary you already set. Boundaries aren't meant to push people away. They are meant to create space for the right connections.
In our next episode, we're going to discuss what the internet thinks we want and what we actually want. You're going to get our hot take on it. Until next time, go out there and be your favorite self.
And if you enjoy what you hear, be sure to leave us a review. And make sure you follow us on all your favorite listening platforms to catch all our future episodes.